Okay. So you walk down the cereal aisle, right? And you are just absolutely swimming in promises.
So,
Every single box is screaming heart healthy, low fat, maybe got some like official looking check mark on it.
the seal of approval.
Exactly. So here's the weird thing, the question that kind of bugs me. If we're all, supposedly doing what we're told, eating the whole grains, the low fat snacks, why are the actual numbers for heart disease getting worse? Like noticeably worse, not better.
It does seem completely backwards, doesn't it? It kind of forces
Yeah.
you to stop and think, well, maybe what we've been told for decades
Yeah.
about the fats, the grains, the whole heart-healthy definition,
Yeah.
maybe it's just fundamentally wrong.
Right. If the advice we're following seems to line up with things getting worse.
Then you pretty much have to look in the exact opposite direction for answers. It's just logical at that point.
So that's what we're doing today. We're going to try and cut through all that noise,
Yeah.
decades of it.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into what might just be the single best meal you can actually eat to like actively support and maybe even clean out your arteries a bit.
And fair warning,
Uh-huh.
it's probably going to be the polar opposite of what that colorful cereal box is telling you.
I kind of figured, okay, so to get the fix, we need to understand the problem first, right? Where do we start?
We got to start really small, microscopic actually,
Mm-hmm.
with the lining of your arteries. It's called the endothelial layer. Super important.
The endothelial layer. Okay, I'm picturing it like really fancy wallpaper inside your blood vessels.
Mhm.
Super thin, but does all the work.
That's actually a great way to think about it. Yeah, it's incredibly thin, but it's like mission control in there. It's doing some serious heavy lifting.
But like, what's it actually doing?
Well, it controls your blood pressure, for one, decides whether to kind of relax the vessel or make it stiffer.
Okay.
It acts as a massive filter system, especially when blood goes through your kidneys. Huge role there.
Mm.
And it helps stop dangerous clots from forming. Plus, it's involved in, immune support. It's critical stuff.
Wow. Okay. So this vital wallpaper, what does it run on? What's its fuel?
Primarily, it prefers glucose.
Yeah.
Sugar. But, and this is the really crucial part, the vulnerability.
Here it comes.
Yeah. To actually pull that glucose in and use it for energy, the endothelial layer needs insulin. It needs insulin to, dog onto its receptor. Think of it like a key fitting into a lock.
Hold on. So the health of this tiny, tiny lining inside my arteries is directly tied to how well my insulin is working.
Precisely. If that lock and key system gets gummed up, if it's faulty, well,
Yeah.
that's insulin resistance. And the artery lining is super susceptible to problems because of it.
So even if my blood sugar looks okay on a test.
Right. Even then, you could have this, cellular starvation happening right there in the artery lining because the fuel can't get in properly.
And insulin resistance, that's not some random mystery, right? We kind of know what causes that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No mystery at all. It's basically caused by, constantly eating easily available carbohydrates in this modern habit of snacking all the time.
The constant grazing.
Exactly. Think of insulin like someone ringing your doorbell. If you just keep ringing it every couple of hours with a snack full of carbs,
Eventually, you just ignore the doorbell.
you got it.
Mm.
The receptor, the person inside, gets annoyed, resistant, stops answering. And when that happens to your endothelial cells, they starve. The wallpaper starts to crack, metaphorically speaking.
And suddenly you've got a big structural problem in your artery.
A major failure, yeah. Which brings us right back to the problem with those heart-healthy labels.
Okay, let's unpack that. The stamp of approval stuff.
Right, take the classic example, the American Heart Association certification. That little red heart check mark makes everyone feel all warm and fuzzy like they're doing the right thing.
Total marketing gold.
But when you look at the actual rules for getting that check mark, it's kind of shocking how, weak they are.
How weak.
Okay, get this. For something like, say, a popular oat cereal, to get that seal, only 51% of the ingredients have to be whole grains. 51%.
Wait, only just over half? So what's the other 49%?
Could be refined grains, could be added sugars, other fillers, and it still qualifies for the heart-healthy label.
That's not really a high bar. It sounds actively misleading.
It is. It's practically giving permission to eat processed carbs that are almost guaranteed to spike your insulin, which, as we just said, damages the artery lining.
It's like saying you aced the semester because you scraped a D- in physics. Doesn't really help, does it?
Not at all. And then there's the whole fat fiasco, the decades of advice on fat.
Yes. Saturated fat, bad. Red meat, poison. Unsaturated oils, excluded.
Right. That's the gospel we've been preached, yeah. Avoid saturated fat like the plague, especially red meat, because cholesterol. But hey, Load up on those highly processed seed oils because they're unsaturated.
Okay, but you're hinting that this logic is flawed because you said we need to look in the opposite direction. You're suggesting we should maybe not avoid red meat. That's going to require some convincing. Decades of advice say otherwise.
The convincing part comes when you stop focusing only on cholesterol, which is a whole other deep dive maybe,
Yeah.
and start focusing on insulin and actual nutrient needs.
Okay.
The big flaw in the traditional advice is ignoring how both those refined whole grains and slamming down tons of those processed seed oils tend to jack up your insulin and cause inflammation.
Ah, so they both contribute to that endothelial damage, the wallpaper cracking.
Exactly. So the villain isn't automatically the saturated fat itself.
Yeah.
It might be the fact that warnings about saturated fat push us towards foods that mess up our insulin even more.
Huh. That's counterintuitive.
Think about the irony here. A single teaspoon of coconut oil, which a lot of wellness folks seem okay with,
Yeah.
has more cholesterol than a big 7-ounce steak, yet the steak is the bad guy. Doesn't add up if cholesterol is the only thing you look at.
So if the mainstream advice leads to that endothelial starvation and inflammation,
Then it doesn't really matter what else it claims to do. It's making your arteries vulnerable. We got to shift focus. We need to support that lining, protect it.
okay, so avoiding the insulin spikes is step one. Groundwork laid. How do we actively help that endothelial layer, build it up? You mentioned an artery support team.
Yes, and the captain of that team, the MVP, is nitric oxide, just called NO.
Nitric oxide. Okay, what's its job?
NO is basically the molecule that tells your blood vessels to just chill out, relax, expand.
Right.
It stops your arteries from getting all stiff and tense. Really important.
Okay, so we need stuff that triggers NO production. What's on the list? What are the heavy hitters?
Well, number one, surprisingly maybe, is vitamin D. It's a hugely potent trigger for nitric oxide.
Vitamin D, I thought that was just for bones.
It does way more. It's not just a vitamin. It acts like a hormone, a signaler.
Hmm.
It literally helps turn on the genes, the instructions that make the enzyme needed to create NO. Yeah, it helps convert L-arginine into nitric oxide. It's probably why low vitamin D levels are so often linked with high blood pressure. You're missing that fundamental signal to relax your vessels.
Okay, that makes sense mechanically. Is that why people take arginine supplements for blood pressure? They're giving the body the raw material?
Exactly right. You're providing the precursor. And here's another player, maybe a surprising one, testosterone.
Testosterone, really?
Yeah, T dramatically increases NO production. But here's where modern life kind of sabotages us.
Oh, boy.
One of the biggest things driving down testosterone levels, especially in men, is exposure to environmental plastics. Things that act like estrogen. They can directly shut down T production.
Wait. So the plastic leaching from my water bottle or food container, that's not just vaguely bad. It could actually be lowering my testosterone, which then weakens my arteries' ability to relax via NO.
It's all connected. It's systemic. You're kind of getting hit before you even choose your food.
Wow. Okay. Who else is on the NO team?
Magnesium. Absolutely crucial. It's a fantastic NO enhancer. But it's a triple threat.
How so?
It helps relax muscle spasms, so it directly eases artery tension. And it helps lower cortisol, the stress hormone. Less stress, lower blood pressure. Spills that sometime.
Magnesium. Got it. So that's the NO crew. But you also mentioned calcification. We need an anti-calcification crew, too. Sounds ominous.
Yeah, because the last thing you want is for those damaged, inflamed artery walls to start hardening up like, well, concrete pipes. Calcification is bad news.
Definitely don't want that. Who stops that?
Magnesium plays a role here again. It helps sort of direct calcium, telling it to stay in bones and teeth, not end up in soft tissues like arteries.
Okay, magnesium is pulling double duty.
But its essential partner, really indispensable here, is vitamin K2. Not K1 from leafy greens, but K2.
Vitamin K2, what's its specific job?
So remember how insulin resistance damages the endothelial lining, makes it kind of sticky?
Yeah.
Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic cop.
Mm-hmm.
It sees calcium floating around in the blood and basically tells it, nope, you don't park here in this damaged artery wall, move along. It prevents calcium from depositing where it shouldn't.
Traffic cop for calcium. I like that. Okay, so we know the villains, insulin spikes, inflammation. We know the heroes, NO boosters like Vit-D, T, magnesium, the anti-calcification duo, magnesium and K2. Now, let's build the meal, the revolutionary meal.
All right, we're tossing out the high-carb, low-fat dogma. The goal is simple. Eat something packed with nutrients that doesn't send your insulin on a roller coaster.
Which means low carb. Keto, maybe?
Ideally, yeah. Low carb or ketogenic is great because ketones, the energy source you use then, have this cool superpower. They
Yeah.
can actually bypass that broken insulin lock-in key system.
So the artery lining can get fuel even with insulin resistance.
Exactly. It ensures those endothelial cells aren't starving anymore.
Okay, drum roll. The main event. The primary component of this artery cleaning, super supportive meal is
Red meat.
red meat. Seriously.
Yep, 6 to 8 ounces of it. Ideally grass-fed if you can get it. The very thing you've been warned against for decades is actually probably the most nutrient-dense foundation for supporting your cardiovascular system.
Okay, I got to push back a little here for our listeners. That sounds almost like malpractice based on everything we hear. Why is the saturated fat suddenly okay now?
Because the primary damage wasn't coming from the fat itself in the first place. It was coming from the chronic carb load, the insulin spikes, the inflammation that damages the lining.
Ah, context matters.
Hugely. When you remove those damaging factors, that saturated fat isn't the enemy. Your body uses it for things like cell membrane structure, hormone production, important stuff. Plus, red meat is just loaded with other good things.
Like what?
Like zinc. Tons of highly usable zinc. And guess what zinc does?
Ah, tell me.
It directly helps boost testosterone levels. Remember, testosterone.
For the nitric oxide, it's a loop.
It's a beautiful positive feedback loop, exactly. Red meat supports T supports NO supports healthy arteries.
Okay. I'm starting to see the logic. Red meat provides protein, structure, and zinc for T. What else goes on this plate? We need that anti-calcification crew.
Right. So melt some cheese on that burger or steak, but specifically try and get raw cheese.
Raw cheese, way raw.
Raw cheese, compared to the regular pasteurized stuff, tends to be significantly higher in vitamin K2.
The calcium prafic cob.
That's the one. So you're building that critical calcification prevention right into the main course. Deliciously, I might add.
Can't argue with delicious. Okay, sides. Gotta have some veggies, right? But which ones?
Absolutely. A salad is perfect, but let's be specific.
Yeah.
Make it with arugula.
Arugula, that peppery stuff.
That's the one. Arugula is a powerhouse.
Right.
It's known to be a massive natural booster of nitric oxide production.
Ah, more NO.
Yep. Plus, it gives you vitamin C and E, which are great antioxidants for artery health in general.
So we've got the grass-fed burger with raw cheese, a big arugula salad. Anything else? A final touch?
One more thing. Pumpkin seeds. Just a handful sprinkled on the salad or eaten alongside.
Pumpkin seeds. Why those?
They are nutritional gold mines, packed with magnesium.
An NO and stress reduction. Check.
Loads of zinc.
More T support. Check.
And selenium, which also plays a role in supporting those hormonal pathways and antioxidant defenses. This isn't just throwing food on a plate. It's like engineering support at a cellular level.
Wow. Okay, that meal sounds pretty good, actually. Burger, cheese, salad, seeds. But you mentioned something non-negotiable earlier.
Ah, yes. The insurance policy. Before we even think the plate is complete, we absolutely have to talk about the single most powerful supplement for heart support.
Which is?
Vitamin D3. There is arguably nothing more fundamental for supporting a healthy heart and flexible arteries than adequate vitamin D3.
And like you said, getting enough from food is tricky.
It's practically impossible for most people, unless you're eating seal blubber daily like traditional Inuit populations.
Which most of us aren't doing.
Exactly. You're very likely not getting enough. Food just can't solve this supply problem for D3.
So sunshine.
Sunshine is the best source, definitely. Get sensible sun exposure whenever you can without burning, obviously. But for many people, especially in winter or if you work indoors,
Supplementation becomes necessary.
absolutely essential. And we're not talking about the tiny amounts often found in multivitamins or those old, frankly inadequate government recommendations.
Right, this isn't just ticking a box. We're trying to actually support a vital system here.
Precisely. For genuine heart support, for actually impacting blood pressure and artery function, the kind of maintenance dose many experts now recommend is at least 10,000 IUs of D3 every single day.
10,000 IUs daily. That sounds like a lot compared to standard advice.
It is, compared to the old advice, but that's the level needed to really saturate the system and reliably flip those genetic switches for nitric oxide production we talked about. It ensures the signal gets through.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We started with confusing advice and worsening stats. We've basically done a complete 180 turn here.
Little reversal, yeah.
We've ditched the low-fat, high-carb stuff that seems to damage that crucial artery lining.
The endothelial layer, yeah. The stuff that spikes insulin.
And we've pivoted hard towards nutrient-dense, insulin-friendly whole foods. Things like red meat, raw cheese, specific greens, seeds, things that actually feed the system.
It really comes down to stopping the fear of, whole natural foods that got unfairly demonized. We need to look at nutrition based on function. What does this food do for the critical structures in my body?
Not just, does it lower one number on a lab test?
Exactly. Forget just lowering cholesterol if the process actually makes your arteries weaker and more inflamed. Focus on what builds strength and resilience.
So, final thought for everyone listening. If decades of supposedly heart-healthy advice have perfectly coincided with heart disease rates going up, not down,
Yeah.
what other really basic foundational beliefs about your health might be just as wrong, might be just as ready for a complete grass-fed overhaul?
Definitely something to chew on. Maybe over that steak and arugula salad.